The Poor Little Rich Girl by Eleanor Gates. Narrated by Andrew Jackson. Chapter 1. Halfway up the shining surface of the gilt-framed pier glass was a mark, a tiny ink line that had been carefully drawn across the outer edge of the wide bevel. As Gwendolyn stared at the line, the reflection of her small face in the mirror grew suddenly all white, as if some rude hand had reached out and brushed away the pink from cheeks and lips. Arms rigid at her sides, and open palms pressed hard against the flaring skirts of her riding coat, she shrank back from the glass. "Ooh-oh-oh," she breathed, aghast. The gray eyes swam. After a moment, however, she blinked resolutely to clear her sight, stepped forward again, and, straightening her slender little figure to its utmost height, measured herself a second time against the mirror. But, as before, the top of her yellow head did not reach above the ink mark, not by the smallest part of an inch, so there was no longer any reason to hope. The worst was true. She had drawn the tiny line across the edge of the bevel the evening before, when she was only 6 years old. Now it was mid-morning of another day, and she was 7, yet she was not a whit taller. The tears began to overflow. She pressed her embroidered handkerchief to her eyes. Then, stifling a sob, she crossed the nursery, stumbling once or twice as she made toward the long cushioned seat that stretched the whole width of the front window. There, among the down-filled pillows, with her loose hair falling about her wet cheeks and screening them, she lay down. For months, she had looked forward with secret longing to this 7th anniversary. Every morning she had taken down the rose-embossed calendar that stood on the top of her gold and white writing desk and tallied off another of the days that intervened before her birthday. And the previous evening she had measured herself against the pier glass without even a single misgiving. She rose at an early hour. Her waking look was toward the pier glass. Her one thought was to gauge her new height. But the morning was the usual busy one. When Jane finished bathing and dressing her, Miss Royal summoned her to breakfast. An hour in the schoolroom followed, an hour of quiet study, but under the watchful eye of the governess. Next, Gwendolyn changed her dressing gown for a riding habit, and with Jane holding her by one small hand, and with Thomas following, stepped into the bronze cage that dropped down so noiselessly from nursery floor to wide entrance hall. Outside, the limousine was waiting. She and Jane entered it. Thomas took his seat beside.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?